Good there. How we doing out there? Who's ready to get back into the hot seat? It's Black Friday. I'm ready to cash in today. Let's go looking at some trades and make some money, guys. The Qs are dropping fast here. I think this is going to give us a nice opportunity here as we're going back towards Wednesday closing prices. Let's talk all about it right here, of course, on the show. We got a lot to talk about. We'll get into some of the retail trades. We'll take a look around. What's happening this morning? And will Bitcoin go to 100K, guys? I'm feeling a little Bitcoin rally today, guys. And there's a big part of this that I think that we could have a really good day today, guys. So stick around, guys. There's going to be a lot to talk about. We'll take a look at some of the action here. You know where you're at. It's TTP Live. And let's just go right into the show. Wants 200, baby. You ready to get back to the trading action?
You aim, you shoot, and make money.
It's going to be a great day. You guys know where you're at. What's going on, traders? Ready to have a good Black Friday, guys. And I might just go shopping today, guys. Taking a look at maybe a nice espresso machine. Yeah, those things are expensive, but on a Black Friday, it might just be, right? So who knows? Maybe a little Estee Slaughter shopping. No, I'm just kidding, guys. I've never been in that store. That store looks so expensive when you see it. Have you guys ever been to an Estee Slaughter? Estee Lauder? Let me know, guys, out there, and smash a like. Wrong screen on this one. Why is it showing? Oh, wrong screen. There you go. Let me fix this up here, guys. Showing Mobilize, showing my other screen there. I'm looking for Estee Lauder. Estee Slaughter, like I like to call it there. And you guys can see it. It's been coming back. This is that high-end household goods, man. It's crazy when you go in there. The sofas be like $6,000 and stuff. We won't talk about that. Let's talk about the retail trade and what could happen today. Retail doing a really nice lift, but nice sideways days on Tuesdays and Wednesday. Now we're starting to see another push. I think we could see a nice little push today, especially maybe we get a little bit of some opening pullback like we're getting right now in the Qs, and then some strength later in the day. You can see this is pulling back. I was even thinking about maybe taking a long in this morning off the 507s. Glad I didn't, of course, because we're getting this little tumbling action. But SMCI also getting some down hit. I don't know what happened there. That thing went down to 29, now bouncing back. It's moving all over the place. So if you're wondering what's going on in SMCI, I don't know right now, but I will take a look at it. XRT, of course, is going to be a lot of names to be watching today. Macy's already up a little bit. Going to look around to see what's trading well. Nike's been doing well as of late. We'll see if this can push today. Of course, through the 79 would be a good outlook there for Nike. Can it get the push? It's not a bad one to watch there. Of course, Amazon and the platforms like Shop were names that we were watching. Meli has also moved off of this. Meli is, of course, Mercado Libre in the Brazil action there, but we'll see what happens on Meli. It doesn't look too bad this morning. And this is specialty retail. We can go to, of course, the apparel names. Lulu was trying to trade this on Wednesday. Actually got cut and took a pretty decent haircut there on Lulu after trying to get it back up there. So I'm going to be watching today. Can we get back up above the 325s? You can see we're actually trading higher than that. Sometimes it's as simply as buying the close on a weekday and you come in and it's green, right? I know a lot of traders that try to trade that. If they feel a trade's going to be strong the next day and it was really weak towards the close, you can get a really nice price if you take a shot overnight, right? But you got to know where you're risking and understand the risks like always. We'll take a look around to see what's going on there. But Lulu, ANF also on the radar, of course. You guys know I've been winning and losing on ANF this week, guys. So overall, still positive on the name. But it's been a little bit of back and forth with this chop that came in with their earnings on Tuesday. Probably the wrong day to report. Personally, I would try to adjust that because it's too close to Black Friday. But hey, ANF did come back and try to almost fill the gap, but then really quickly shook off of that and now made its way back there to 154, then pulled back on Wednesday, started to come back towards the end of the day towards 150. We'll see if it takes 150 and 155 today on ANF. AEO, another one to watch for. If this move's going to happen, I would be looking for AEO to break that 19 and just continue riding on up. This is not a bad one to watch. Of course, Urban has had some good report. Gap has had some good reports. So keep your eyes on those names to see if they stay hot there. Nike, of course, you can watch Crocs in the shoes department. Crocs and Nike, all different names to watch in the footwear space. Deck as the best of breed in this space. And you also got On Holdings that's been doing really well. A lot of these footwear and accessory names could get the push today. Even a Black Friday run for Skechers. I'll go on a limb and say even Skechers is on the radar today. You guys can keep your eyes open for these footwear and accessory names. The retail names could be moving all around out there, guys. But don't forget, of course, today is Black Friday, and we got some great deals on right now. So you don't want to miss out, of course. Get that limited account, the new super buying power. And of course, you guys know I opened this up, got as high as 900 this week. I'm still up 400 on the account, ready to trade, ready to get after it today. And we'll see what we can come up with today. Of course, the markets will be closing at 1 p.m. today. Let's see how the markets move today. Will we have a fast market? Will we have a slow market? I'll be looking around to see what's going on, but definitely back and forth action. Let's find out what happens today, guys. Smash the like if you guys are excited to be here on a Black Friday. And let me know, are you going shopping out there? Who's going shopping? What are you buying? And it's important to take a look at some of those stocks that you're buying the items on, because they could be on the way up. All right, let's keep it moving. We'll take a look at some of the other action out there in the market today. We can take a look to see different plays, right? Will Mobileye continue going with Tesla today? I'll be watching to see if Tesla can make a move above the 340s. I was watching to see if we'd make a move on Tuesday. So let's see if we get a ramp up on Tesla today. Why? 9 EMA right there, sitting pretty. So what do I need to see? I need to see Wednesday's high taken out, that 342 out the gates. That's going to give me a big sign that Tesla wants to go. And it's today, baby. We'll see what happens on that. Definitely needs to start coming back here through the 338s. I'm going to put an alert at 338s, but really it's at 342 that could get hot. It could be a big open here for Tesla. So we'll see what happens if it can hold this undercut, right? Maybe undercuts towards 334s and then recovers that. That's the undercut move coming down. So keep your eyes on that. We'll see what happens on Mobileye. Can it make another move there to 20, 21? Fill the gap. I could see that gap fill coming real soon. We'll see what happens. All right, that's a Mobileye. We can take a look to see what happens in NVIDIA and Apple today. Of course, they were down on Wednesday. We'll see if they can continue the strength. Will we continue to see NVIDIA sell off while Apple continues to make the move? That's the rotation I've been seeing lately. This morning, there is some negative news in Microsoft, and there's some DOJ talk out there. But I don't think any of this is going to be something that lasts long. I think it's just holding back Microsoft and Google. So eventually, I do see these taking a big run. Right now, they're not as sexy because of the scare in the DOJ conversations. But I think as Trump gets closer and closer, he's going to be putting pressure on the DOJ to leave these companies alone and let them do what they want to do. So we'll see what happens there in Google and other names there. Can Microsoft recover right back up? Meta had a really good day on Monday, pulled back there on Wednesday. Could have another good day today, right? So we did have a nice little pop there Monday, Tuesday, and then it kept going. And then Tuesday into the close, it was up there to 576, pulled back to 570s, went back on Wednesday to 564. Can it claim back above the 571 and start making a move right back there to 576 today? I think definitely in play, but you got to be careful for the downward break because this is a longer term trend line. And the longer the trend line is, the more points that it has, the more it could break if it gets down there. So if we do see Meta come back towards this 560, that's the danger area. But above, let's say 575, going to 580s, you're looking for maybe another run towards 600. So keep your eyes on the daily. It's going to be important to see if we start making an approach to 590, because then 600 will definitely be on the eyes out there. We'll see what happens here in Meta and other big boys. Of course, we can take a look at different trades. What about the crypto trade today, guys? I'm calling it. I'm looking for a big rip here in the crypto action today, as I'm going to be looking to see if Bitcoin can make a run. So BitU is another one that I'd be taking a look at. I was thinking about buying this at 56. It's come back to 56 just recently. made its way all the way up there to 5660s. So it's starting to climb back. I think this is one that we can watch for. And we could also look to see if MSTR comes right back to the upside. I think that's already getting the lift this morning, but we could see SMST come down further. I could short this as a leverage trade, or I could maybe take a look to see which ones are the leverage to the upside, right? So I could take a look at plenty of those out there. There's MSTX as one of the long ones. You can take a look to see off this 109. Can we get the lift back through towards the 112? All names to look at there. Clean Spark, Mara was one that I was watching this morning. I put it out in the playbook. Mara and Clean Spark definitely on the radar. If I had to trade one of these, I'd probably trade Clean Spark because I don't trust Mara. They always love to raise money into the moves. So that's the only scary part with Mara. We'll see what happens today. Definitely needs to hold Wednesday's close, 26.91. So I'll just put it at 27. Hold that 27 today, and we'll see if that can start to push right back to the upside. And of course, this would need a big rally in Bitcoin. And I think that it could be a smart day to rally today, because if Bitcoin rallies today, gets to like, let's say 98,000, 99,000, it just leaves room for during the weekend. It runs to 100K. And by the time you come back on Monday, you're looking at all these crypto stocks and wishing you had a piece. Well, I don't want to wish I have a piece. I want to try to get that piece today and make some money. Then maybe trade it again on Monday. It's not necessarily a swing idea, but more stocks that I'm watching because of the way that they could rally today on a day where a lot of traders are just not trading. So we'll see what happens there. Can they get the rally? It's already starting to push back off of that kind of bottoming action here. We'll be watching these out the tape. I think the crypto trade is one of the hottest trades today. So it's crypto and retail that's on my radar as some of the top trades. There's still other trades, of course, like AI trades and things like that. Of course, we were trading AI earlier in the week, trying to nail this one around the 34s, above the 35s, and it's right back down towards the 35s. We'll look to see if C3 AI can continue going. Tempest AI still hasn't really taken off, but the cup and handle pattern is there, as beautiful as day and night. So we'll see what happens there in Tempest AI. All names to look at. What about the electronic game and Best Buy? Well, we'll see what happens today. On Wednesday, it started to rise up. So you got to take a look to see if you go and you attempt the lows there. So there's a good support there to kind of go off of. And today, I'll be watching to see if that support breaks. If it doesn't break, this is still a good area to look for some potential dip buy in Best Buy. We'll see what happens here. Can it come back to the hourly around 87.18s? If you want, you can just put it back down to 87.11 or 87 overall. We're looking to see if we can get one more pullback and then a test back to the upside. So maybe a little pullback into the 88s and then a push right back above, going towards the 90s. Maybe kind of fill some of this gap right back to the upside. Of course, good Black Friday results could be coming right around the corner for Best Buy, right? So, of course, they showed struggle in the earnings report. Will that have lowered the bar here for Black Friday enough for Best Buy to deliver some good news and get a pop? So that's one thing that I'm thinking about. Let's catch up in the chat. What's going on out there? How we doing? Short dude, what's up out there, guys? Can't lock my gainer tools on the screen. Watch all videos. Hold on a second. Let me try to figure this out for you, short dude. So morning, I can't lock gainer tool on my screen. Watched all videos. What do you mean? You can't look at it? You can't watch it? What's going on, short dude? Let me try to help you, my friend. Try to explain your problem a little bit more, and I'll try to help you. By all means, man. Let's see what happens out there, but definitely that's something to look into. All right, let me get some other. I know I got some order forms here. I need to pull out here. Detached. There it is. There it goes, right back in that corner there. Let me bring down the double Mitches. Let's see what happens here in Best Buy today. We'll see what happens with other names. Gainers losers list is working for me. Is that what you're saying, that your gainers losers list is not working? Let me know, man. I'm here to help you out, like always. All right, guys, smash the like. We got a lot of traders out there on X, on YouTube, joining in. Smash those likes so we can get some more traders in here. Let's take a look around to see if there's any news that came in when I was, I was doing another show this morning. I went on the pre-market prep just to kind of check out the action there, talk a little bit about some trades that I see. Of course, you guys know I came from pre-market prep, so I wanted to give the boys a little shout out this morning. Looking around, the market leftovers they're talking about. Man, the CNBC going full in today with all the conversation. Elon Musk is heading to Washington on December 5th to talk with congressional leaders about Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency. That's going to be funny, man. I got to be there I got to see that. A lot of people will be watching that on December 5th. Of course, that'll be coming up next week. Take a look, guys. And that's when, of course, the competitions are right around the corner, guys. Did you get your competition account for the rule to pull? And also, of course, did you get your super buying power account 10% off right now on all evals? Go get the discount, man. Don't miss out on the discounts right now. Tell you what, traders, there's a lot of traders going to be coming back to me wondering, well, I didn't get the discount. Well, you waited too long. Get your accounts now, guys. We'll see what happens there. Best Buy trying to recover 99 today. And the Qs, will the Qs go back into the green? They're starting to bounce off of that 505.54. Starting to get the bounce already here as we're starting to turn back to the upside. And this is not a bad time to start turning back to the upside. So I think we'll start to see this as a bottoming area here around the 599. So this 599.50 level will be an important level towards the open to see if we break. If we don't break this 599.50 level, I'm still in the green shoes today. We'll see what happens. XRT, of course, already up in the pre-market. We'll see which names here really start to get going. Of course, Gap has been hot. There's some names that are starting to get a little bit of a push. Boots Barnes Alliance. There's a lot of names to kick a look out there. Penske Automotive. Tractor Supply. A lot out there, guys. American Eagle, A&F. So many stocks out there, guys, making moves that we can keep an eye out for today. So get ready, guys. It's going to be fun and something definitely to watch here. Tool disappears when I click on the chart. Gainers. Lock gainers tool on my screen. Watched all the videos. Tool disappears when I click on chart. When you click on this, it disappears. So like the way that I have mine set up, I have it symbol linked yellow to my chart so that when I click on it, it opens that chart to my right-hand side. So I don't know necessarily what the issue is there, but I'm trying to figure it out for you, short dude. Just keep talking, man. I'll try to go ahead and work you through it. It should work as simple as this, man. I mean, all I do is I just pull in the tools, open up the gainers and losers list. And the key here is I do a detach. So I detach it and make sure that it's above. If you want it inside of this, you can attach it there so it doesn't disappear. Or you can click this on top. If you click this on top, doesn't matter where you put it, it's just going to go on top of everything. So that's another thing that you can do and check off to try to do that. So just another way to look at it, guys. But then you can also color code it with a chart, and then it'll change. If you click on a chart or a stock, it should change your chart to that stock. So just something that I'm trying to work through here, trying to help a trader out, guys. Like always, smash the like. We'll keep it going, but just trying to help you out, my friend. All right, let's see what else is out there. Good morning to you guys. Can I take a look at lithium, LAC? Yeah, Kevin, not a bad area to take a look at and to look for some trades, right? So here's some action there. You want to talk lithium? Well, Money Mitch has you covered, guys. So let's talk a little bit about this spreadsheet, guys. And I'm going to be looking to start sharing this spreadsheet with you guys. And what this is going to help you guys out is really kind of keep up with all the action that I keep up with, guys. So just like right here, like look, lithium, right? So I'm starting to really kind of keep my theme trades, right? So there's theme trades that I always like to trade, and I'm starting to really try to keep it more organized here. So AI, quantum, autonomous, retail, lithium. So let's go take a look at some of those lithium names. Two names I like there, PLL, SQM, but let's add their LAC. There's also LTHM. There's also different lithium names. We can take a look at some metals and minerals. Let's go take a look at some of those and some of the names that I have for you guys. So stay tuned, guys. Of course, what I'm going to be doing is probably collecting some emails there to share this with you guys. But stay tuned, guys, because I'm always trying to help you guys out, create different tools that can push you guys forward. All right, Steph, what are you seeing in those small names today? We'll be keeping an eye out for them, see if I can maybe make a trade on those. But man, limited account took a beating this morning as I was getting ready for my interview, guys. Took a big hit on PRFX. So I just tried taking the shot on this one. It did not bounce at all. It was looking good at the 340s. That's where I took the shot there. Should have cut out there at the 320s. I was getting ready for the interview, so I just missed out on the drop there. And by the time I looked back, it was already at 3. So there was no point in like kind of saving it. It hit there down on that small limited account, but just going to go to the main limited and keep pushing it, right? The super buying power is really where I would like to get it because that gives me enough buying power to really make some money. So we're ready to go get after it today. I'm up 400 on this account. Want to see if I can trade maybe even smaller name. It all depends on what's trading today. Soxl starting to get hot. Tells me more and more how the Qs are starting to bounce off the bottom. I talked about how we could get some downward action and then bounce. We're already bouncing. So let's go to LAC. Let's talk about some lithium names. LAC around $4. So let's take a look at this one. Nice little setup on the 9 EMA. I love things like this where you get an undercut of some support and you start to work your way back. Now you need to do what's called the trend line approach, right? Where you go and you break a trend line. So I think that this will give you a good solid level to look at. And of course, you got the bottoming action on 2 layers now. So the layers are 373 and 359. If it goes back to that 359 or 356, I'd want out. I'd like it to hold the 370s on pullbacks. Take the 4 today. Take the high to the left, which is going to be your 415. That's your closest high there. It is very important to get back over. You can see on the weekly, you could still pull back to that layer back here at the 9 EMA around 362 and then take the move higher. The big move on the weekly is through these highs over here, the 434s. This is a move that's expanding and slowly building. Look at the volume that's coming in on this name. So you got to look for the volume to go ahead and ramp up again. And that's going to give us a little bit of a sign that you're starting to get the lift, right? So you got what? A big push of volume and a decrease of volume. Now you want to see a bar that starts to push back to like, let's say 8 million, 10 million. That's going to be another sign that today's that day, that the timing is right on the bigger move, right? So we'll see what is out there. Do you mind sharing this Excel? Yeah, I'm going to. I haven't got it just yet because I want to, kind of work some things, make sure that no one else can change my stuff or share it with everybody. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to be collecting some emails, working to something like that, so I can help you guys continue to look at trades. Because the truth is, I love theme and what's called thematic trading. And it's so important to know the themes that you guys can be trading. So stay tuned. I got you, my friend. I'll share it with us. At the end of the day, it's for all of us. Archer's on there too. I should have a theme there that has, of course, air mobility. That would be that outlook, and it'd be Archer, Joby, and there's one more. I think it's called Fly. I think it's a ticker. Let's go to it. I know these already. I've traded some of these already. Is it B-Fly? No, it's not B. Blade, BLDE. That's it. So there's BLDE, there's Joby, and there's Archer. They're all similar trades. They're all making moves, and they're all in what? One theme. This is why I think it's so important to know the theme. If you can trade the theme and trade all 3, the chances of you getting green trade on stocks like this, right? Longing Archer, Joby, and Blade. If you went after all of those, right? What are the odds that you end in the green? The odds are high, man. And that's the type of trades that we can look for. So yeah, Archer, all those names are definitely names to look at. ACHR, Joby, and Blade, all names to look at. Up is another one. Up Wheels Experience hasn't made that big of a move, so this one's lagging. There's always like a leader and a laggard. So this is what I'm seeing there. So if you're just wanting to look at some, maybe it's Up, just starting to get the move there above the 250s, could pull back to that 250s, but also could start making a way to 3 and 4. So just to bring up some names there and to show you guys some different ones to look at. And that's why it's so important to have a spreadsheet like that you can build off of. All right, of course, the AI names have been hot. We can continue to look at that. Here's another one. What about the holiday trade? What about the hotel trade, or in this case, lodging with the leisure trade in Airbnb? I like this look, guys. Back here through the 140 today is a good look here on Airbnb. Nice little bottoming action. Was hot around the 140s. Ran into some resistance right above here towards, like, let's say 140.70s. Now pulled back to that support, held there sideways, could go right back to that 140. So it's okay if it goes slightly red, but I'm looking for this above the 139 and not bad watch on Airbnb. So look to see if it starts to get back up above the 139 today. I'll be watching it, guys. Hilton, another one that I think could make another push to 255 and 260. We've talked about how Expedia could start to get the move, and that's been pushing well, Booking and names like that. But Booking's too expensive. It needs to do a stock split. I don't know who works at Booking, but if you do, go let them know. They need to do a stock split. And to tell you the truth, guys, I'm a little frustrated because I could have had some Booking stock from a long time ago, man. Should be having some Booking stock. This thing has at least doubled in the last 5 years. It's been an amazing ride there on Booking Holdings. So if you have this stock or have some stock in it, hey, look at the ride up in 2024 since August. It's been up here 63%. What a ride, man. What a ride. All right, we'll see what else on some other names start to get the lift here. Let's go back to the overall market. Let's take a look at some of those crypto names. BitU, how's that starting to lift here? Okay, so it did go back to the 56, got all the way up there to 56.47. That was a nice bet right there. It would have been nice 50 cents to make in the morning. But we'll see what happens here towards the gate. Definitely something to watch is these Bitcoin names. Let's go to Bitcoin overall. I want to take a look to see how it's trading. I see 97, got as high as 97. Let's take a look here. What do I have on the high? I'm looking at the chart here, trying to determine the action off of that. So we got, of course, as high as 99,860. We pulled back to 91. We're right back at 97. And today it could be grinding higher, man. So I'm going to be watching for this, especially on the hourly, to look for that potential run straight to 99. And then you'll have tons of people calling for it. I don't think it breaks 100 today, but it gets close. So we'll be watching for that move. Gold was moving this morning, and I've talked about AU when you want to trade gold. It's an interesting name. Look at the amount of volume that got traded today or yesterday on Wednesday. 20 million shares there in this AU. So there's something's going to happen here, guys. Either I think gold is going to get hot again or it's going to start falling fast. So I'll be watching for both sides of this trade to take a look to see what happens there, right? Is it a gold up move or is it a gold down move? Keep an eye out there. Coin, all ones to watch. Hood, I liked it even a little bit better this morning. Take a look at Hood on the chart on the 15-minute. You can see it's going sideways there. We'll look to see if it breaks 39. But Coin, all stocks to look at, especially when crypto does well. Coinbase is going to do well. Coinbase has been ripping since this year and pretty much turned back the clocks, as this was looked at as an ugly stock at 300, went down below 100. Now it's viewed as a darling. It's up 345% since 2023. I mean, think about that. If you bought this in 2023, in 2022, in 2023, early 23, you're up 560 something percent. That is crazy, man. Crazy. All right, another stupid question. How do you reduce my chart? How do I reduce my chart sideways? Up, down, no problem. What do you mean reduce your chart sideways? Like bring it back? Like zoom out, zoom in? So there's two ways to kind of mess with our charts, right? So I'll show a little bit of the charts action there. So like here, right? Of course, you have this scroll at the bottom. You also have a zoom out and a zoom in. And there's also this at the top, which is the manual and auto price. A lot of times when I go to another chart, I'm going to start on the auto and let it auto populate the kind of the margins here. But I'll always switch it to manual sometimes because I want to see a little bit more. So if you pull it down, it makes more prices come in. But of course, the moves will seem a little bit more exaggerated in between, or actually less exaggerated. If you pull it up, it's going to seem more exaggerated. So now I start to see more of the trade, and you can just literally click around and kind of move to it. There's so many features, guys, that I can try to teach you. But yeah, I don't understand what's move it over. What do you mean? Like kind of shift over to the right? You can just grab it and pull on it, and shift over to the right. But I'm trying to help you, my friend, to fit something in besides it. Another tool, new box like gainers to the right of it. So the way that you want to do that is this. I'll show you. So I'm gonna bring in my main screen here. So let's say here, guys. So let's say you wanted to put in a high and low list to the right of this. So to open the high and low list, right? You can open this up, right? Start to take a look around, right? You can go to, whichever stocks I can take a look at, right? So there, I want to go in and attach it, right? So then now I have it attached, but I don't want it there. I want to move this, right? I want to move this. So you can hold on to it and then just get the right arrow. So if it has this right arrow, it's going to attach it to the right of this now. So now I have all those three charts to the right of this. I have now the high and low list. So you just want to grab the chart and move it, right? And try to move it to where you want to get to, right? So that's another way to do it, right? So just literally grab that and drag it somewhere. And then you're going to start seeing these lines, right? That you can go ahead and go to the right. You can go and attach it to that one. You can put it below it, to the left, to the right, all different ways to kind of pull it out, right? And you can also just pull it out, detach it, right? So all different ways that you can go ahead and get after it there. So let me know if there's any other way that I can help you with this. Just trying to help you, my friend, like always. All right, let's keep it going. We'll take a look around, see what else I can go ahead and show you guys on the platform today. But getting ready, of course, it's 9:17. We're almost to 9:30 here. All right, to fit something in besides another tool, new box like gainers, not inside chart, outside. Yes, so something like that. You just want to drag it. And if not, you want to duplicate it or you want to pull it out, and then you can put it to the right-hand side. My chart is across the whole screen. I want to put gainers besides it and can't move it across. My chart is across the whole screen. So another way to do this is, like, some people don't like to work in the workspace, so you could just detach detach this, right? Detached. Then I have a chart that's detached, right? I can take this chart order stuff off. That you just click that, right? And so then I have this now like this. Now, can I put a gainers and losers list on the right-hand side of this chart? No, I cannot. So I can't attach this to this, right? I think that's what you're trying to do, is attach this to this. You're not going to be able to do that. The only thing you can do is maybe just keep this one on top and put it next to it. So what I would do if I wanted to put this next to it, right? I'd maybe put it to the right-hand side. I'd put it big. And then I'd make this bigger, right? And use the window to kind of expand it, right? So just using the kind of the window to expand it right next to it, right? So this is another way you can do it. I hope I'm able to help you out here. If this is not what you need, short dude, reach out to our customer service team so that they can help you really get down to it. Also, the Discord is really good to find out any of these questions, right? Steph knows exactly that. And of course, I'm just trying to help out here because we have a little extra time before the bell. But I hope that helped you. Let me know, man. I'm always willing to try to keep working through things. Just trying to help you out and make sure that you're best using the platform. That's what it's all about, man. I'm not here to talk about myself. I'm really here to help you guys out and continue moving your journey forward. So we'll see what happens on that. Let's go ahead. Let's keep it moving. I'm going to go pull this to the right-hand side there, but just trying to help you guys. All right. Besides no room, yeah. So you'd have to just make your chart window smaller, right? So just make your chart smaller. That'd be probably your best shot, right? And charts don't need to be that big, right? They don't need to be the full screen. You guys see me. I mainly keep it this size on this main screen. And that's more than enough to see it, right? I like to see this stuff, and this stuff is more important to me. All right, taking a look around out there to see what kind of names are moving right before the bell. Let's go to On DS, as this is one that just got the move. This one just broke $1. Has been up here a couple of times now, trying to make the second move here. And continue going on ONDS. All right, taking a look around to see what other names are making a move. There's a lot of these small ones, but nothing that's really making a giant move. I think I'm seeing a lot of actions back and forth. But hey, we'll see what happens on the Bitcoin as this gets towards the open, guys. It's 919, pulling back a little bit here. I'm going to be watching these names, that's for sure. What about Mara here? Let's take a look at Mara and Clean Spark. Those names, they're just kind of hanging out right here. They did do a pullback towards 27.25. Could take the high right now. There's 27.50s and then just start grinding up higher right here in the pre-market. I'm watching these names. They're definitely some of the top names to watch today. Of course, the XRT is going to be on watch. All those Black Friday trades, definitely something to look at. All right, we'll see what else is out there. Mitch, are you seeing a head and shoulders pattern on silver? Let's take a look at silver. All right, let's go taking a look at, we can take a look at SLV as one of those trades that you can take a look at. Of course, this is the iShares ETF. You can also take a look at some silver stocks to look at this. I can see, of course, silver has pulled back and you're approaching a longer term trend line. And you could cut back down, right? So you see this longer term trend line, you started to undercut it here on the week. And this is a brand new week, right? So this is what you want to be seeing here. Can you come back through that 28, going to 28.50s today? You break this low, which is 27.50s, and you might want to start to get out of some of these. So I keep an eye out on that. If I take a look at just a silver name like AG, I see a very similar trade. A nice pullback after the recent rally, trying to recollect and get some volume, but it's going to need a good amount, right? This thing has come back down in a hurry and now has made a pretty good bounce there, but still could go through the 6 at any point. It needs to start working its way back to 670s and 680s, but hasn't gotten the strength in a long time. So MAG looks a little bit better, could recover 16 on this one. The reason why the weekly looks a little bit better on this one. So I like MAG if I just look at the charts, and then we'll look to see if this starts to climb back to the 16 and going to the 1750. All right, not bad ones to watch there. Silver, we'll look to see if silver makes a move. I've talked about it. This is the overall silver outlook. So this is kind of like an equally weighted index. You can see how it's pulled back and really doesn't look strong. It looks like it's coming down still. And if I looked at the MACD based on an equally weighted basis, you see no cross to the upside. You see just what? Momentum to the downside. I still think this needs a little bit to turn first before you get too excited. But hey, to each his own. If you think today's the day for silver, hey, keep an eye on it. All right, let's keep it going. We'll see what else is out there. Why is SMCI down? Honestly, I could not find the news on SMCI earlier. Let me take a look to see if there's anything that I got right now. I don't see anything there, but I'll definitely watch here. Yeah, there's nothing that's coming up, guys. So keep your eyes out there. I still have yet to find some news on SMCI. I think someone else knows something, though, because that move was pretty significant on SMCI, but I didn't see any news that came out with it. So keep your eyes on that thing. I've talked about it. I'm not touching SMCI with a 10-foot pole just because at any moment, this thing could just go to zero. Trump pumped BTC for votes, not to replace his gold and greenback. Trashed Bitcoin many times in recent past. Bitcoin short of the lifetime in 2025 after this run. The problem with that short, dude, is that this is the mentality, right? I think you would have been right in 2020. 2020, you had the mentality of, yeah, let's go back and let's just short this thing. But the problem was there was a different time in that time, right? So in 2020, it was mainly retail playing the Bitcoin run. Now you're seeing even rich people have a ton of Bitcoin. What came out in the meantime? All these spot ETFs, right? And now there's even options. And now there's even different countries trying to accumulate Bitcoin. I think at the end of the day, you don't want to be fighting something. It's okay to trade it quickly, I think, to the downside, but it's dangerous, I think, here, trying to battle something that so many now want to see go to the upside, right? Before, it was only retail, and the institutions did not want to see retail make money. Now the institutions are in, and what are they going to do? They're going to put the shake on retail. So there's going to be times when retail gets stopped out. And what I'd be looking for is, what do the institutions do? What does MSTR tell you they're doing? They're trying to buy more and more Bitcoin. Overall, I don't think Bitcoin's going away. And I don't think you'll ever see Bitcoin, let's say, back at, 40, 50,000 for a long time, maybe never again. So what I'm thinking is, this is an opportunity more to the upside than it is to the downside. But if you see it that way, short dude, hey, short that dude. We'll see what happens, guys. All right. Can you go over the rules for the new competition? Great, Scott. I will. I think it makes sense to wait towards the competition a little bit, but we can talk a little bit more about that. They're very similar. There are some slight discrepancies. So what I'm going to do is probably bring on Tim. Tim does an absolute amazing job at explaining the rules. So what I'm going to do is, on Great Scott on Monday, I'll go ahead and I'll try to reach out to get Tim on to kind of explain the intricacies between the rules. And there's not too much of a difference there. So I think what you mainly do is remember how the other competitions have gone. It's been big money that has won those competitions. So you need to find a way to make a lot of money. That's tough in a competition, I will tell you. All right. Great points. The change in Bitcoin sentiment short term. No, I would not want to short yet. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being short term short. Nothing wrong. Because at the end of the day, there's always going to be moves up and elevators move down, right? But I'm just saying is long term, I'd be a little bit scared to see that thing come down and then right back up and just smashing through 100,000, right? I just think that there's too many big money now in. And once the big money got in, that was a telling sign. Do you remember the things that they were saying in 2020? They were calling this trash. They were saying that Bitcoin was a Ponzi scheme. Yet all of them were doing something underneath the hood. They were all grabbing Bitcoin or figuring out ways to make investments in Bitcoin. That's when you know that the thing's good. When the money managers start to bash it, there's a reason why. I don't hold anything for more than a few minutes. And you're short, dude. Get that money. Can't go wrong. All right, just curious. Went long on PRZO, reached target. Would you go back in if it pulled back and reformed a higher low? There's nothing wrong with that mentality, Steph. The main thing is always understand when you take a nice profit on a trade, how much you're willing to of that profit to give up. And make sure that you establish that, I think, before you get into the trade again. So let's say if I made $300 on the trade, right? I could maybe say, hey, I'm going to come into this trade and see if I can make another 100 or 200 with a third of the share size, and I'm going to risk 100 of my profit. That's okay, because then now I'm still doing a profit to loss ratio. I'm still doing another trade, but remember it's a brand new trade. So take a new assessment is so important, and taking a look at it. And if you're, riding the trend, understand that trade's probably going to be faster than the one that you just took. Right? Because this one, you need to really stay really quickly with the trend if you're going to keep riding it. So there's nothing wrong with finding a pullback and then trying to get back in. The only thing is you got to make sure that you know where your out is if it starts to turn. So I think we'll take a look at it here. PRZO, right? So let's say if I got this one on a trend line approach, right? Let's say I was looking at a trend line. It broke back above this. I missed this first buy. It came back down, then pushed back above it. I grabbed it at 90 cents. It scared me here at 86, pulled back towards $1, and I sold it on this rip. sold it at like, let's say 105, 106. So I bought it around here, sold it at here. Now I can start taking a look at a deeper time frame to see if it's doing a deeper pullback, right? So then I start to see this bottoming around the 99 cents, right? So then I'm thinking, okay, well, if it can hold this low, then we're looking good for maybe an approach back through the 110. So I'd be looking at a trend line approach and trying to get this back through. But where do I want to be in? I want to be closer in towards the bottom so I can get an entry around here and risk to down here, right? Because if I get in here where I am right now, let's say at 101, can I risk to this area? If I only put the risk here, it clearly can be a stop out area where you get stopped out and the stock comes right back. So I'd be looking for a pullback into that spot to kind of play the pullback and then risk right underneath it, which is a little bit difficult, right? Nike pulling back there. We're starting to get a little bit deeper time frame pullback on Nike. So taking a look at that, down to 78 there, right before the bell here, guys. That is dangerous. Nike just got a little bit of a hit right before 9:30 here. So let's go, guys. Let's go trading. Stay safe out there. We'll see what else is out there, guys. Smash it up. Let's go trading. Clean Spark, one that I'm watching right out the gates. Mara, those types of names, the Bitcoin names. Will they get the push right out the gates here? Q's pulled back right out the gates there. Down she goes. BTCT getting a little bit of an alert there. We'll see if this one starts to make its work back, right? This is still a name that could get a lift today. Airbnb, we'll watch for some of the retail names. Let's go to XRT, see what's going hot there right out the gates. That's what I'm going to be watching here. Out the gates there, what's moving up, what's trading. I'm seeing more alerts starting to hit there. Airbnb giving me a little alert there. I like this Airbnb trade today. I'm going to try to take this right out the stop here. I like the 139s here. All right, nice little lift right off the start here. Looking to see if I can get a pullback below the 139s and kind of play this up there towards the 140s and 142. Not a bad outlook there in Airbnb. Wanted to move a little bit more before I jump in. Just trying to be patient here on the first minute of the market, but not a bad looking trade off start. Clean Spark already getting the move there. I'm watching for Clean Spark. I'm trying to grab it here, guys. I'm going to take a quick one here. Let's see if I can get a little bit in on the pullback. Ooh, 50's already going, guys. This is moving fast there. I'm missing it. I'm a little annoyed that I'm missing it. This was the big trade today, guys. Big push there right out the gates there. Now I'm just looking for some kind of pullback to maybe play it back down, and I am missing this trade. Frustrated. Should have nailed that. Was taking a look at the Airbnb there. Mara's just starting to get going here, so I like Mara and Riot. Those are types of trades that I like, but Clean Spark was the one that I really wanted. Nice little spike off that $14. The real key is it has nice hourly lows. Could still undercut the 14 on the pullback, but man, nice opportunity there on the first spike. Let's see if I can get some kind of pullback here to get right back in it and see if we get the spike for sure. Bit2 pulled back there. Taking a look at the Qs. Qs are a little bit red here to start the day. We could see a little bit of red early and then see that change. Seeing some of the lodging up at the gates here. Let's get after it today, guys. Let's go. All right, guys. Like always, we got a lot to talk about, a lot to trade out here today. I'm going to be watching to see what's up and trying to find some themes out there. Seeing Marriott up today, of course. That's your kind of your lodging theme, and Airbnb being one of those that I can look at. Look at Airbnb go. I'm a little annoyed, guys. I'm not nailing it the open here, and a lot of that is just looking all over the place. Missed the Clean Spark pullback there at the 1450s. Gonna probably go for Mara because I already missed on Clean Spark. Let me see if I can catch up to Mara here and try to catch this here. All right, nice first spike there in the 80s. I want to grab it here, but it's already spiking here. Man, it's a chase. I hate chasing. Man. I'm just trying to stay off the sideline here. Missing this trade for sure. A little frustrated by all means because this was the trade that I was looking for. So just trying to slow myself down because I'm missing such a great trade already. That Clean Spark was a really nice move there. little frustrated by this, trying to find some other trades out there, but definitely that did really well there. I can look to see if there's some of these smaller names are making a move here. We'll see what happens, but definitely Bitcoin, nice trade there. Mara, take off there too. A little frustrating, guys, because this is the exact trade I was looking for, but I'm just missing it. XRT going higher there too, so I can start taking a look to see what names are doing well there. I'm watching for it. Gap with a nice little lift and a pullback. We'll look to see if it starts to push to the upside. Etsy, Urban doing pretty well there. How are the other names? A&F pulling back off the 150s. Got back above the 151 here. I'd like the 150 attempt there and then a recovery back. So maybe I go back for A&F. A little annoyed that I missed this crypto trade though, for sure. So I'm just going to leave it on the sideline right now. Definitely should be in on some of this action. Q's trying to take another low here. So I think we got to watch this to see if we get a cut down through the 505.50s. This is a big level to watch here, guys. If it can come back to 506, we're looking good to start catching some of this run. Celsius is another one that I'm going to keep on watch. I do like this one on a day like today, especially if we start to get that nice little uplift again. I've been looking at this one as it pulled back to the 9. It was just pushing towards the 30. Could push right back to 30 today. Looking around, guys, trying to take a look at the sectors and the industries that are going higher. Industrials going higher today. PRZO, that was one that we were talking about in the pre-market, just right back up there, now in a halt to the upside. So where did it go? Right into that box there and then right back up. So a little bit of a fake out right back into that box, and then you could have risked off that bottom box, would have given you that entry right out the gates, and you could have been nailing that PRZO. I hope somebody nailed it. I hope some of it. All right. Yep. Can go back in, but smaller size and not being greedy, I guess, makes sense. 100%. That's how you do it, and that's how you can get back in it. I don't know if you did, Steph, but there it goes. There it goes. All right. We'll see what other ones can make a move today. Looking around, Lulu. What about Lulu? How's Lulu doing? It's holding off of that bottoming action. Airbnb just pulled back, giving me an opportunity. The big part here is the Qs. Will we reverse back up to the upside? And there it is. Not a bad little move already off that turnaround there. So I'm looking at Airbnb as a potential buy right now. All right, guys, I'm going to take a shot here on Airbnb. I just took 100 shares there. Would like to add if it does start to come back through that 139.50s here. But just going to start it off here and then look to see if it really starts to rock and roll towards 139.50s and above. All right, now watching the Qs to see if we could recover there. And of course, Clean Spark is one that I'm watching. That's already up there to 417s. And look at Mara take off there, guys. I was looking to get in it here at 2780s. It's already to about 40 cents higher, 50 cents higher. So nice little breakout there in that action there. Bit2 going for another breakout. This is looking good on the Bitcoin names today, guys. So not a bad outlook if you're looking to trade some of the Bitcoin names today. BitF. So many of these names making a nice little move now. Coin and Hood are going to be looking interesting. We'll see what happens on those names, but then definitely let's take a look at MSTR. That's pulled back to 403, giving some opportunities. We'll see if those can really start to push here. Q's ripping to the upside, so that makes me feel good about some of the XRT names that are in the green right now. We'll see if those can push and continue going there, but definitely not a bad looking outlook there. Macy's starting to recover. Nike made a move to 79, could pull back to the 78.50 spot there, but looking good there on Nike to break 70, 79 and start to get going here. So I like the outlook there on Nike. We'll see if it starts to push here. Not a bad one to watch to see if it can continue to lift off. It just broke 90, just pulled back to the 78.80s here, and now can make the move here. Airbnb starting to get the push here. I'm going to go ahead and add on Airbnb and look for a nice little win here. Let's see if we can get it. All right, just added there. Now I got 200 shares. Looking for a nice little break to the upside here. If it could take the 139 and really start to move here, we'll be looking really good on Airbnb. Let's see if it starts to push. All right, I can still take other trades while this one's going on. So I'm looking at Clean Spark and some of those names to see if I can get some pullback. Riot's already taken off there. Hut is up on the top there. I'm looking at the Qs. The Qs are starting to push there. So look to see what gets hot in the Qs right now. And that's going to be interesting to see there. I'm watching around to see what's up there. Qualcomm having a decent day. Technology up And what's leading? Let's take a look there. Industrials, basic materials, and technology. So look to see if maybe you're getting a basic materials gold run. I'm watching that AU to see if that gives me a little bit of insight. Silver, those types of stocks, we'll see if those can move. I'm seeing right now coal as a leader in that space, and lumber. So silver and gold not doing too bad on the first action. So I'd be watching those names. They are still doing pretty decent there. In that technology trade, of course, is going to be something to watch on Apple. I need Apple to go green, and that's what I'm looking for. It went red to green, so I like a 234 pullback on that. We'll see what happens in NVIDIA. Does NVIDIA go red again today? That's what I'll be watching here. Amazon's red to start it off. NVIDIA, let's go to Microsoft. Microsoft starting to bounce back there. That's good to see. It starts to bounce back. Google is definitely taking a little bit of a hit right out the gates there. All right, looking around, PRFX is a smaller name starting to make this move back towards 3. This one doesn't look too bad if it gets through 3 and then starts to get hot there, but just calling a smaller name is starting to get going. UMAC is another one that, of course, had a whole bunch of conversation with Donald Trump Jr. Was up there to 14s this morning. Could go red here. We'll see what happens if it gets back to 15. How's Tesla today? A big watch for me. Tesla's starting to make the move to the upside. I like this Tesla move on this first action here. Could really start to rock and roll. So I'm going to try to get some Tesla here on a pullback. Let's see if I can get a little bit and just let it rock and roll. The key with Tesla is that I always have a tendency of buying way too much. So I'm going to go for a smaller size here and look to see if it can make a bigger move. All right, guys, I just tried to get some there. There we go. I just grabbed some there at 336. So pretty much 337, right? It could pull back to the 336 here. That's definitely a potential, but I'm looking for a little bit of a rally here and just starts to push with the Qs. So small entry there. Just trying to control my risk here on Tesla. So risking about 67 here. Want to see if it really starts to rock and roll. This is one that I'm looking at, guys. Airbnb, I'm still in that one. Now it's starting to pull back a little bit further here. So just trying to keep the watch on it. The Qs are going green. So that's a good outlook there. SPY green. Need to start seeing Airbnb start to make that up move. Tesla not looking too bad on that first action there. I'll look to see if Tesla takes off through the 337 here and doesn't pull back to the VWAP. Q's now pushing strong there. So we're starting to get a nice little day here as we start to get some lift. I'm watching the XRT names. KSS doing really well. Victoria's Secret doing decent. Target pulling back and getting a nice little lift there. How's Best Buy holding in on that 89.86? I'm looking at that one as potential to break 90 today and really start to push. So that's not a bad look there. And we are getting a nice little push here. I'd like a little pullback here in Best Buy to 89.50s. Not a bad look there if it can go to 89.50s and recover. Smaller name that's making a little bit of a move, MOBX. So it's a smaller name, 150 starting to break on that one if you're looking at it. Apple takeoff, says Jim. Let's go take a look there. Apple, big push to 235. That's a really good outlook there. I'd like a pullback to 235. I wouldn't mind playing Apple, and it's one of my top plays right now to look at. And there's Tesla starting to move higher. So I like that Tesla move. Let's see if it can really start to break out here. I might even add to Tesla and then just start to hold the rest break even. A lot of times this usually costs me, but I'm going to go for it here. Adding there, and now I just got to hold break even. Don't want to risk a single dollar on that Tesla. Just want to go ahead and let it try to run. Let it try to make that little breakout here and really give me some quick cash. So let's see if we can do that and really start to break out towards like 342. That's really where I could see it going to. And then there could be a pullback. So I'm going to try to play it up there towards the 342s. If it pulls back and stops me out here, I'll look to reload at 336 on the pullback. All right, going to go protect Airbnb here. Now Airbnb should start to rock and roll to the upside. Clean Spark still looking good there. Mara looking like a nice little push. Got up there towards past the 2850s. Definitely missed out on that opportunity in Clean Spark also. These Bitcoin names should have nailed them this morning. Wasn't on top of that trade. BTDR, another one that's ripping here, guys. This one's moving faster. The Bitcoin trade hot today, up there to the 1450s. There was two trades I was really ready on, and they're doing pretty decent. XRT trade, we'll look to see if that can catch that pullback and really start to push. There's some of those names that are doing well. Now I'll look to see if they start to really catch up. Etsy with a nice little push, 55, something to watch there. Wayfair, another one that's doing pretty well on that 46. I like this Wayfair chart. It's pulled back. It's held really well. Now can start to push back through the 47. Looking pretty decent this morning as it starts to get hot there. I would like any pullback towards around the 46, and it just held that 46. So now looking pretty decent to go and break that 46.50s here on Wayfair. Look at Tesla go and rock and roll, guys. 139, 140s now. So looking really good on this Tesla trade. In a second here, I'm going to probably just cash it and just look to keep going, guys. Look to keep rocking and rolling. Tesla could go far, though, today. So I'm going to just keep grinding the stop loss with it and moving it up, guys. So right now I'm going to secure $100 and just keep it grinding. Just keep it grinding. As it keeps grinding higher, I'll keep moving the target profit, trying to secure more and more gains. Tesla, nice little breakout there. Airbnb, I need to go protect here. Don't want to see that break down. All right, setting a risk of 120 there for Airbnb. Just got to make sure I understand the risk, and then I can move over and get to some other trades. Let's go to it. Let's take a look here. XRT, I'm still looking at Best Buy as a potential trade there. ANF, Lulu, we'll see if these start to get hot, but some of the other ones are already making the move there. AEO pulled back there. Nike back down. Could go to the 78.50s here. Also looking at Crocs. How's Crocs doing? Quick pull back on that one. Deck, how's the Deckers? Skechers. I'm looking around. I'm trying to find what's doing well and what's trading out there, guys. I'm seeing Bath and Body Works doing pretty well there. Urban with a little bit of a spike. Target bouncing back today. Groupon trying to get a little bit of a lift. Groupon, will a Groupon get a push today to 10? I mean, there's potential for that trade. Tesla pulling back a little bit there. Could pull back to the 337 here, so I might just cash in Tesla. Let's see if Tesla just wants to keep grinding higher. Tesla pulling back a little bit there. Might take my $100 on the pullback through the 338.60s. If it does that, I'll look for a pullback back into the 337 or 336 range. But looks pretty good here if it holds the 339 and just goes straight to the 340s. That's a big breakout there for Tesla. So I'm looking for it, guys. We'll see what happens out there. Battling. There's the stop out on Airbnb. Let's see if Tesla can continue to grind on this and go higher. Trying to get me out there. So I'm going to give it a little bit more space on this as it starts to push to the upside here. Let's see if we can get that grind back through the 339s and it just continue grinding higher on Tesla. All right, Clean Spark should have definitely been that trade out the gates, guys, and messed up that trade, and it's going higher and strong. So I hope somebody is playing the crypto play. It's looking awesome. Short eBay. Why short eBay? We'll see. I feel like today is one of those days where it's a retail day, so it's kind of hard to see that eBay get shorted today. But hey, I'd love to hear your conversation on that. Etsy's looking pretty decent there as that pushes higher. NAAS, I'm looking around on these XRT names to see what's starting to lead there. Look at Wayfair, nice little push above the 46.50s. I'd like any pullback on that back towards 46 or 46.25. But Wayfair was on my watch, of course, just with Shopify and Amazon, and those are looking pretty decent here. Amazon starting to recover the 205.60s. Doesn't look too bad there. Tesla pulled back, just caught me out, just took in some profits there. back to minus 36 here. Don't mind Tesla again here. Did hold the 9 EMA there, but I'm looking for a little bit further pullback. Let's see what happens in the Qs here. Do we get some downside attempt here? Do we just continue to grind higher? If we do grind higher, well, take a look to see if some of those strong names can continue strong. HPQ, one of the names in the SPY that had a nice little push, pulling back. We'll see if it gets another lift here. EMPH pushing today, so some solar names showing up there. Even Boeing moving up. That's your industrials leading the action to the upside just with technology. So we'll see if those can continue to push. The quantum play is getting a nice little lift there. IonQ, BDTR, of course, really hot in the Bitcoin space. Man, there were so many names today. It's looking great, at least in the trades that I wanted to get after. Now, the only question is, can I get after them? That's a whole nother ball game, man. A little bit late to the game today on Mara and CleanSpark, and that is costing me because look at the pullbacks on those. There is no pullback on those. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is, guys. It's so hard to get all the names right. I think one of the things is trying to set up a little bit more of a buying process there, maybe with some stops so that I can catch those moves. But really nice move there in Mara. And LAC moving higher. Hey, it is moving higher. Looks good. It held that $4. Didn't break into the 390s. Now you're starting to push the hourly, looking good on that. You'd like to see the other lithium names lift with this. Look at PLL as one of those examples, right? So LAC, I'd like to see PLL start to make its way to 1340s and 14 today. It's at 1265. It could get up there today. It's pushing well. We'll see what happens. PLL. All right, and you do see some lithium names showing up there, and you see some other names moving there. Some gold names moving up there, some kind of, I think this is LEU. I think that's a lithium name also. SLI, a bunch of lithium names starting to push there. Uranium names pushing. UEC, so you're getting your nice little move there in your metals. Tesla loading up again here, could go for another break. What I'm looking for is a little bit further pullback time frame here, but it might just go off of this level here. So I might have to just step up to the plate and risk off of this here. Tesla could just come pushing higher through the 339s and keep going. There's the Qs. Qs did pull back a little bit here, so I'm looking to see if they can make their way back to the 15-minute low. So give me an approach. If it holds this 506.50s, we're still looking good, but it could come back down towards like this kind of bottoming action around the 505.50s. So I'm just watching that action here. Apple's going to be a nice approach on that pullback also. So it's holding in above the 235. Would like to see it hold that 235, make a move back towards 236, 237, and then look like a breakout for sure. We'll see what happens there in Apple. Feel like there's been some good loading up there in that stock. RCAT making a nice little move there, breakout there on that stock on the smaller names. So if you like the smaller names there, that's a good move there. SMR also breaking out, guys. So your nano nuclear, those types of trades doing really well. Look at the nano nuclear move right out the gates there. Nice $1.77. Looks like it wants to go higher today. Good pullback on the 9. Could push it back through the 30s today. We'll see if it gets through the 30. It's going to be a little bit of resistance there, but it's trying to push there. It's at 29. Could still go all the way to 30 here. We'll look to see if it just keeps pushing and rocking and rolling. All right, Airbnb did start to turn back here. We'll see if it does go back above the 138.50s. It's not a bad one to watch overall. XRT still down, still hasn't really gotten that nice little break to the upside, so I'm continuing to watch some of those names. All right, starting to see Tesla prop up a little bit there. Lulu trying to recover the 320s. So I'm just looking at some of the names here to see if there's anything that's starting to get the pop there. AEO starting to get a little bit of a bounce there. We'll look to see if XRT can hold this 83. It's going to be an important outlook there. All right, looking around out there, trying to find some more trades. The Qs just went right back to the upside. So that tells me that Tesla could just break this 339 and keep it going here. So let's see what happens here. I think it's definitely something to watch. And if that's happening, I'm watching for Mobileye also to get up there. So that's another way to trade this, right? Trading the Mobileye. If Tesla continues to run here, I can just try to catch Mobileye for a little bit of a lift. Tesla, nice little push there. I talked about how it could go to 350s today. So that's still some big outlook there. There's 342 as an area where it can start to really get hot. And you're seeing it push right now, right back up there towards 339.60s, now almost to that 340s, and could continue to run. I feel like I got out of this one a little bit early today, but it's so hard to play Tesla. I'll be as honest as I can be. Airbnb costing me 126, Tesla taking out 92. Q's strong there, 507.30s, taking a look around. Have a good one, traders. Looking forward to next week's competition. Thanks, Mitch, for helping us out with your knowledge. It's always about that, Steph. That's what I'm here for. At the end of the day, I can't tell you guys what to trade, but I can tell you guys from experience the things that I have learned, right? AI, look at AI ripping here, guys. I've been talking about how these AI names are continuing to hot. Look at the AI today. Is Tempest AI making a move like that? I'd be watching for it. It did push earlier. Now it's on the 15-minute low. We'll look to see if it recovers through the 67. Soundhound. How's the Soundhound? That's lifting off the $8 and starting to push there to the 830s. So you are seeing those crypto names move. Are you seeing those AI names move? Clean Spark, big push there. QUBT pushing back there towards 7. Could take some 7 today and really start to push there. QMCO was, of course, that big stock that made a massive move in quantum. It's starting to bounce back today. It's back up there towards the 18. Can it make a move to 19 today? I'm watching for it. There's definitely the trade there, and it's held the 17 pullback there. Strong move out the gates there in QMCO. We'll see if it pulls back, but it's hot. It's hot right now. We'll see if it keeps hot. BTDR now up there to 15. This one could pull back, but big rip out the gates there. Clean Spark now trying to break the 15. We'll see if it breaks the 15. Going to go ahead and take a peek on Bitcoin to see how that's doing. Mobilize looking pretty decent there. Tesla still holding in around the 339s there, so looks pretty good. It just needs a little bit more pullback for me to try to get a shot on. I would love to see a shot back to 337 or 336 on Tesla. We'll see if the Qs pull back. And Mara, can it come back to 28 or 20, like a little bit underneath that 28? I wouldn't mind taking a shot off of the support around here, the 2790s. It looks like it's breaking out to 29 though. And this morning hesitated there and it cost me in Mara. Should be up big in the crypto names. Apple, how's that one doing? Bounce off the 235, holding well there on Apple. Tells me that we could get a nice little day in the Qs. I like the TQQQ as an opportunity for that. I even liked it in the pre-market. And boy, oh boy, from the pre-market, from where we are now, look at the lift off. We're right back up there on the Qs, guys. Remember, we were looking like we were breaking down. I felt the positive market could be in today, and it's coming in, guys. It's coming in. Mara making a nice little lift there. Marriott also making a nice little lift there. Let's see if Airbnb can start to get going, get right back up there. I'm willing to take the shot again on Airbnb. Just got to be careful and make sure that it's starting to make the move. So I'll look at the hourly to tell me that. Let it get back above towards like kind of the 139 and start to really make the move. Then I could go ahead and get after this name. ANF pulling back fast there. No rebound just yet there. So looking at some of these retail names to see if we're going to get some rebound. XRT cutting down here. Could be that last scare before the turnaround, but we'll see what happens. Not the best move out the gates. About Amazon, is that starting to come back there? Yes, it is. What about Shop? Shop trading at 113, man. Should have continued trading this. We caught a really good move there in Shop. Tesla still just holding in right off the bottom here. Could still pull back, so I'm watching for some pullback. Went back to 338s, but still holding up here at the 339s. All right, looking around, SMR up there to the 32s. Now pulling back there. So is NNE. So that's one to think about as it starts to pull back off that 29. I'd like to see it come back there towards 2840s. All right, looking around to see what else is making a move today. MSTX, I talked about how that one could get a lift today, of course, with the Bitcoin stocks trying to move. 110, really good level here as it recovered all this wick and trick action here on the first action on MSTR. And now you're getting that lift towards that 410. MSTX looking good here for your Bitcoin trade. So, man, you Bitcoin traders, I hope you guys are nailing it. I'm frustrated that I'm not nailing this trade out the gates. Should have been trading this out the gates and nailing it. There's so many trades there that I could have made some good money on. It's a little frustrating. CIFR, Riot, Clean Spark, Mara, all names that I was looking at out the gates, just didn't nail it. Was looking at a different one, and that's how it happens, guys. But hey, was the trade there to be made? Hell yeah, it was. I hope somebody is cashing. Even on cashing on Tesla, look at Tesla take the next step towards 339, almost 340s. This one could keep pushing today, guys. So TSLL will be another one to kind of take a look at if you're just trying to scalp this action here. So that's another way that I can look at this. So I'd look for it to give me a nice opportunity for a scalp, quick pullback, and then play that pullback. We'll see what happens on TSLL or Tesla. Q's now trying to break the 508. So the strength there is there, guys. And there's some names that are doing well. LVS, MSO. So you got to continue and trying to look to see what stocks are getting the love today. Boeing getting a little love there. Tesla, of course, showing up now. Mobileye. We'll see if it starts to push back there. QS getting a little lift there. I'm looking at QuantumScape. This is an opportunity, guys, for a longer term trade. I actually told a friend about this to maybe think about an investment in QuantumScape. I'm not telling you guys to, but I'm just saying that it's an interesting stock. And for a smaller name, it's getting the lift right now. We'll see if it really starts to pop and continues to move. Tesla, quick pullback there. Now we're getting the pullback. Now it can come back to 337, 336. I'll take a shot off of you. I'll rebuy you up. How's Rivian doing today? It's up there towards 1227. Oh, 12. It pulled back. It's in the red a little bit there. Hourly holding well, though. Man, the Q's strong today. ARM with a big push there. So if you're looking at what tech names are doing really well, you got KLAC, ARM doing really well. So keep your eyes on those. Some semiconductors definitely taking a good little lead. Computer systems name doing really well. And you got your RCAT, your IonQ, and some other names moving now. QMCO, we talked about would it make the move off the 18, go to the 19. It's doing just that right now. It's continuing the strength there. UAVS, what about that? UMAC starting to go red a little bit there. We'll see if this actually starts to pull back or will it make another ride up. Q's overall up there to 508 there. BitDeer, let's go to BTBT. Some of these crypto names starting to slow down a little bit. Could see a little bit of a pullback, but man, look at Mara now. Looking back, hindsight 2020, that's a 5% move. Boy, oh boy. Profit take on some Apple, new high. Conrad, get that money, man. Take it. Take it. Apple, nice little push up there to the 235s. We'll look to see if we get some more pullback here in Tesla so I can get back in here, right? So we'll see if we can get that push right back here towards this level, right around this kind of 337, 336, 70s. Wouldn't be a bad area. Don't want to play the VWAP. I want to play below the VWAP. I want those traders to feel like they're getting washed and then this trade come back. Another way to play this move today, if you just want to play technology, XLK, right? The ETF. This is always an option for you just to play some technology. Industrials, of course, you got your Deere, your Cat. Those names have been doing pretty well there. GE, Boeing today. Boeing's getting a nice little bounce today, guys. It could keep going. NVIDIA pulling back there after a nice little push above the 138s. Woof. Woof speed. arm up there to 136. We'll see if it pulls back to the VWAP around 134, 135. Interesting areas on the pullback. XOM 118. That doesn't look anything. SMCI just trading down. I never even found the news on that. Tesla pulls back there and now still holding there. It's just not going anywhere on the pullback. The Qs are just not breaking there. They're strong there. Is the Qs and the SPY. All right, starting to see one that is a penny name that's holding pretty well here. This is that Xena, and it had a really good looking chart earlier in the day. The only thing with this one is that it's very hard to trade, guys. I've actually been washed out on this trade once. We'll see if it really gets going. Where it gets hot is around the 760s, going there towards 8. So I just want to make that mention, just in case this one gets hot. And then you guys are like, but Mitch, you never mentioned Xena. Well, take a look at it. We'll see what happens for you small cap traders. What's going on with that one? It's trying to recover 7, get back above the 760s, and then we'll see if it really does get hot. But definitely, it's in play. All right, looking around out there. What's up out there, guys? Taking some profits in Apple, I've heard mentioned out there, and that could give a little bit of a pullback action here. We'll see what happens if we get some further pullback. All right, IonQ. Still pushing there. Clean Spark, man. What a nice little move out the gates there. But I got like 50 cents. It's not the biggest trade, but still, it's nice cash. We'll see if gold starts getting hot. AU back down to 25, holding the 25 right now. Let's see if it takes back there towards the high of 25.30s and starts to push. AU, I like it because when it trends, right? And so that's what I'm looking at. Do you get back above Wednesday's high, the 25.70s, into the 26, or are you going down to the 24s? A lot of volume there tells me that we got to keep a watch on this. There's going to be a move that happens. The question is, how long does it take to make the move? Apple holding well there. Amazon, we'll take a look at that as Amazon did go red, now going to the green. We'll see if it starts to push higher, but not a bad little opening action there on Amazon as it starts to come down and then pull right back up. Shop, similar move. We'll look to see if it goes to the 114 and continues grinding higher. Here's that washout look there for Tesla now. Let's see if it can come back towards 337, 336, and then come back up through the 340s. So looking at the hourly chart to see if you come back to support and then take the next move, right? So the support is going to be right around this here, this 335.72s. So there's the 9 EMA, the VWAP, and the support there where it can come back to. Let's see what happens. Jim Tran said, great trades. I'm done. Have a great weekend, traders. See you later. Congratulations. And boom, baby. Take that money and run, Tesla, on that Tesla run. I hope you got that, Jim. I hope you're able to make some good cash, and we will see you on Monday. Of course, make sure you're signed up for the competition and check out the deals that we have on Trade the Pool right now for the opportunities. All right, AAOI showing up there. AAOI. Getting a nice little pop today. It's an expensive stock to get this type of move, so it's pushing strong there off the 40s. Big push there in AAOI. Tesla still holding in here on the VWAP. Could make a run off this VWAP here, guys. I think it just keeps holding and it's not wanting to pull back as much, so could just take the 340s now. I'd have to risk off the 338.50s here, so I just got to understand the risk and then make my decision if this is the spot, right? So you can see the 5-minute holding that 9 EMA. So there's an opportunity here for it just to take 340s and no pullback to the VWAP. Tesla likes to do a little bit where it can hurt the most. So let's see what happens here. Does it just take off and not give people an entry? It could do that. It can very much do that. So watching this 15-minute candle like a hawk. Lulu starting to get hot, guys. Lulu. Don't want to miss Lulu, guys. I want this trade, guys. I've been missing this trade a couple of times, and it did come back in the later part of the day. And I do feel like we're going to get some retail move at some point. So I got to try to take some of this action here. I'm going to go ahead and try to get a starter here. Just trying to get some pullback towards the 320s. See if I can get a starter there in Lulu. Looking around those retail names, trying to find something as it starts to move back into the green. Urban leading the upside action there. Etsy with a nice little break to the upside. I can look at Wayfair as one of those names that was hot, that did hold a pullback right now. So I'm just looking to see if those can hold pullbacks, maybe towards 46 on Wayfair. Canceling Lulu for right now. I'm just looking around, guys. I'm trying to figure out which is the best one of those retail trades to make right now. Best Buy through 90s, not a bad look. It already broke 90 and it's starting to break to the upside. So XRT could start to make a move towards the upside. Etsy still looking good there. Victoria's Secret, Carvana now making a move. Macy's holding well. Walmart could start to push there. I'm looking to see if Amazon can push because that would be a good sign. KSS pulled back there now, pretty red there on KSS. It'd be interesting to see it go green. Albertson's getting a little bit of a lift. I think they're going to think that deal is going to end up going through. That's what I'm saying. DOJ concerns, I think, are going to slowly start to go to the sideline. Microsoft, we'll see if you can go back to green. You are red right now. That's a big look to go back to green. Q's just ripping, guys, just ripping. Tesla's still just holding in right now. We're still not getting this big breakout, but the Q's are pushing strong, guys. This is a strong move to the upside. And now you're starting to see some names start to play catch up. AMD, pretty hot today. NVIDIA, pretty hot. Apple, nice move there to 236 almost. So we're getting some strength here. Let's see if it really starts to kick and rock and roll here. Let's go. ANF off that 147, still not coming back on that name. Interesting to not see the strength come back and hit there. Nike still holding in for that break on the 79, held that pullback, didn't come back to the VWAP today, so it's showing me a little bit more strength there. Crocs, we'll see if it starts to come back. That one's not doing as good here. Dex holding in. Looking around, guys, BDTR, Bitcoin names now starting to pull back there. We'll see how much pullback we get. I still like these names, but we have had a really nice rip there in Mara. I mean, look at the push there. It's been a good day so far. How we doing out there, traders? What's up? Smash the like. Strength coming into the Qs there. Still not seeing it with Tesla, though. Wondering if we start to get the move now. The Qs and the SPY have made a big push there, guys. Big push on those names. Lamb Research, a lot of names just ripping there. So the TQQQ was a really nice play today. Mara now taking another lift off there. Airbnb still hasn't returned back. That looks weak there. So glad I cut out of that one. Still Marriott doing well there. XRT starting to bounce off that 83. Could go to 83.50s here. I might just take a bigger position on that. Just try to catch the overall move versus catch a single move. Look at Best Buy. Best Buy, definitely a good trade there. Ulta is a good name there too that's doing pretty well. Q's pushing strong there, guys. They're pushing strong. All right, guys, looking like I might have to step up to the plate on this Lulu. No pullback in between that time. The market's strong, but starting to slow down a little bit. I'm just looking to see if I can get some type of pullback, but the XRT already coming towards the upside there. So just got to keep a watch on these names. They're starting to push. They can keep pushing through their highs. Best Buy being one of the strongest charts I'm looking at right now. Ulta, Gap looks good. Gas trying to recover there. About Levi. Levi holding that 714, it's holding that level there on the daily. This looks good if it can get above the 1750s. Doesn't look too bad as it recovered and hit this multiple times, 3 times. Now could take the 1720s. So we're looking better for this retail trade if it can start to move to the right direction here. XRT pushed off that 83, got up there almost to the 83.25s. Lulu now going towards a 321 action there. So I've still been looking for some kind of pullback on that to play this retail action. But it's so hard to catch Lulu in these spreads, guys. So it's very hard to catch those spreads. BTDR now pulling back there. So we are finally getting some of those crypto names to pull back. We'll see if IonQ pulls back. We'll see if the market it's a little bit of some pullback, but some strong action today. Boeing holding the 155, could take it after it hit the VWAP. Tesla still just chomping around, not going anywhere pretty much, going sideways. Apple still pulling back now as it just made a little bit of an up move, but then now starting to get a little bit more of a pullback. We'll see if we start to get some pullback here to get some opportunity. I'm looking for some trades out there, guys. What do you guys got out there? All right, took some profits on Apple, new high. Profit take on eBay at new lows. Moved remaining shares to break even on eBay. Like that, Conrad. Like it, man. Make that money. This Lulu not giving me any way to get in here, guys. It's just I have to chase if I want it, and that's the hardest thing. So I might have to just go retail trade and try to trade that like XRT. All right, let's go XRT because I can't grab onto this Lulu. It's just chasing and chasing and chasing, and I hate chasing. All right, so I'm going to let it bottom out one more time. Attempt to break this low and then come back around. So I'm looking for an undercut and then a rally. So come back, give me a wick through the 83s and back through 83s is a trade for me on XRT. So a fake to the upside and then come back down and then really take off here. Lulu, look at Lulu taking off there. I like the trade. It's just so hard to get the spread right now. So this is definitely an area that we're looking at. Resorts and casinos have taken off. Luxury has taken off. Lodging, I've talked about a Hilton, Hyatt, those names, those actually have been doing really well. So it's interesting to me that Airbnb is on the downside. Just interesting there. Leisure, I talked about how some of those can make a move there. We'll see what happens. Gambling stocks getting a little bit of a lift there. So DraftKings could be pushing strong. Look at that nice move there in DraftKings. Department stores struggling a little bit. That's one thing I do see. Oh, and some specialty retail down today. Wayfair, though, holding in on that pullback, did break to 46, up there to the 47, continuing to climb. I think Wayfair could push there through the 48s, back towards 48.55s. And look at Lulu. That's setting up for the break now. Getting that undercut on the XRT again here towards the 83s. Would like to see a dip towards 82.90s, wash out some of those traders and then come back. But of course, it could just push off this 83 here. So I'm looking to see if those traders can get wiped out and then we really start to get hot. Etsy doing well, and that's a good name to look at for a Black Friday trade. So taking a look at it here, daily chart has a nice recovery of the 56, then going to 56.73s, but it broke down earlier through the 53.79. So let's see if it can recover here and really make the move. 15-minute has a nice little pullback opportunity back towards like 54.70s. Q's just lifting, man, lifting. So I do like that trade. That tells me that we are getting a nice little rally here. Now Tesla looks really good as it approaches the 340s. We'll look to see if it makes that breakout look. But man, good outlook there in Tesla today. Just not staying in it. And now it's going for the break now. Could just continue to climb here. We're getting a nice little breakout. XRT could go for that cut down of the 83s and then a recovery. We'll see if we get that recovery and a cut down. All right, seeing the Qs slow down. It just put in a Harmy candle at the top here, so I could see a little bit of a pullback and then the move. So that's what I'm going to look for. I'm going to look for the Qs to give me a little bit of a sign that we are slowing down a little bit here. Can we get a little bit of some pullback and then a move higher? That's what I'm looking for. So quick pullbacks here, and then going to look to try to catch some of that weakness. But Tesla already approaching that 340 break to the upside, and you can see how it's trying to go for the break. Doesn't look too bad there. BTDR back around the VWAP. We'll look to see if it catches it and goes right back up there. You got some crypto trades definitely to look at. XRT now giving me that cut down look. And so let's see if it does do that cut down, right back down, and then comes right back up. Urban pushing to the upside. So now we're starting to get some of these kind of names to start to push here. ANF still on that bottom action there. I'm not really seeing the strength there. AEO looking actually a little bit better than ANF today, and that's interesting. Lulu still holding around that. Went to the 322, so wasn't too bad there, but Best Buy, how's my Best Buy doing there? $90 there. Not looking too bad after that shakedown on Tuesday. Lulu taken to the next level there. So XRT is going to start looking a little bit better there as some of these bigger names start to push here. Trying to look for one more dip in the XRT, but I might not get it. Come on, one more dip in the XRT. Come on. Q's strong out the gates here, guys. Let's look at some of those top moves in the Q's today. ARM with a big break. They're about 2% higher. KLAC, so a lot of these semiconductor equipment stocks pushing strong this morning. NVIDIA back up there 1.6%. AMD with a nice little push. Take-Two, Qualcomm, Marriott, Tesla, of course. There's Lulu, man. A little frustrated on this, guys. It was so hard to get in on this move because of the spread, the 60-cent spread, but should have just jumped up and grabbed the 320.60s. That's what I had available to me. I'd be up almost about $2 already on Lulu, and it's starting to make a nice break to the upside. So Lulu looking good here. ANF, maybe one more drop with the XRT drop. That's what I'm looking for. Let's see if we can get that XRT to drop below the 82.90s, and then I can go buying here at around 10:30. It's going to be a good looking change of the clock, right? And another thing to think about, right, is that we've had a quick little first hour of green. Now we get a little bit of a pullback and then the move to go to the next level, right? So ASML, really strong move, got up there almost to 700, now pulling back. Tesla up there to 341. So remember 342.50s around there. I could get a little bit hotter. We'll see if it starts to push. Lunar getting a little bit of a lift today, guys. SMR, of course, NNE opportunities there. They've been holding well. We'll look to see if we get some pullback. QUBT, QMCO, all names to kind of take a look at there. There's QMCO now starting to break down a little bit there. This could break down a good amount today, guys. I mean, I think this is on the daily support, but could go back to the daily 9 EMA, which is back down to 13. So there's potential on this one on both sides. It's a very hard trade there, guys. But look at the already drop another 20, 30 cents there. Could keep going through the 17 and then back down towards 16.50. So nice opportunity there on QMCO, actually on the short side of things. So looks interesting for me. I'm not going to lie. It seems interesting here to short this name, but I'm going to stay on the sideline there. It's just a little bit too much of a high risk with that spread. Lulu almost breaking through the high now, so definitely a good trade there. Just didn't nail it. Looking at the XRT to see if we're going to start to get hot here, and I think this could start to get hot at any moment here. The XRT, I'm just looking for one more downside action move, but might not get it in here. Now it's time to maybe take a step up and go for it here, as some of these names are hanging on. All right, guys, I'm going to go for it here. And of course, it could still pull back to the 83s, but I'm going to start taking a shot here, and then I'm going to start to size up there. This is going to have to be a bigger sizer trade because I'm going for the ETF versus, of course, just going for a name here. Can we get one more scare to the downside here? One more just scare, pullback, wick, recovery. That's what I'm looking for, guys. I'm trying to be patient, and sometimes patience is what pays, man. All right, eBay filling the gap from a few days back. Not a bad one there, and then we'll see if it starts to go back up. Bitcoin to 100K this weekend, maybe. I'm feeling that, Sammy. I put it out on my Twitter. How are those clean Spark and Maras? Did we get enough pullback to play them? We are getting that pullback to play them. They could go a little bit further. So I'd like a pullback to 28 on Mara. On Clean Spark, I'd like a pullback to like 1450s, if not 14, and then go back up. So just wash some traders and then go right back up. I think you're going to get back and forth action on those names. BitU, we talked about before the open and how this was hanging out at 56 and it was looking really good. It made a run to 58, $2 and 3% higher. This was a trade to make today. It was a great one. BitU, I just didn't nail that one. And I got to say, I didn't nail the crypto trades today as much as I should have. I was looking in this space and there's plenty of names that are in the green, 4, 5, 6, 8%. Bad play there on my part. Got to take advantage of that opportunity there. It was there, just did not take advantage of it. Lulu pushing strong here. Tesla starting to come back there. Now we can start to see some of these names really start to push here. I'd be keeping an eye on that. Rent getting a little lift there. Don't expect to see that get the lift there, but XRT will look to see if some of these names start to push to another level. Best Buy at 90.36. Wayfair up at 46.86. See what happens here. There's that downside move here where I could get some little washout a little bit more and then the turnaround. So that's what I'm looking for. Wash them out through the 83s, come back towards like this 90s and then work back, right? So we'll see what happens here on XRT. Making a little bit of a move to the downside, and then we'll look to see if some of these names start to push. Etsy looks interesting for me, guys. It really does. Etsy's a Black Friday trade here. All right, nice little downside action. It's come down 1, 2, 3. Just put in a nice little candle there. Could come back to the 95, so I'm keeping that in mind here. I like the 500 share size, but that's still pretty big with the spread here. So I'd like 55 on a pullback here on a quick one. Let's see if we can get it here on a quick pullback to 55. Q's now pulling back there, but Etsy looking interesting here. 15 minutes still has a pullback to like 54.60, so just got to keep that in mind. No pullback just yet, guys. XRT though is coming down towards that 83, did go back there and then kind of shake, give some volume. So now we could start making the move right here. So I like Etsy, but it's not going to give me that 55 probably opportunity. So I'd have to jump up to 55.14s if I want to grab it. I'm looking at the XRT also because that was on the playbook. All right, I like that little fake out to the downside here. So I'm thinking about taking a shot now. Watching the 5 minute though. The 5 minute still hasn't gone green, and that's another thing that's holding me back here. Still could come back towards that 83 and go a little lower. Etsy. $55.16s on that. You're definitely getting a little bit of some slowdown here in the cues and slowdown in the action. How's Tesla now? Tesla up there to 342.19. So nice little break there in Tesla today. Hope somebody nailed that Tesla trade. Mobilize, another one to take a look here for the recovery through that 1815s, going back up to the 1830s and higher. Doesn't look too bad. Could go back to like 1877s. It's not a bad one to watch, especially on the hourly. Could go right back there towards 19 by the end of the day. I think Tesla needs to make it up there towards like 345 and 350 if that's going to happen. But I'll keep it on watch. Lulu starting to come back around. A&F still on the downside there. AEO now trying to break the 19. This one doesn't look too bad as it did get off of that VWAP. Now we'll look to see if it breaks 19 here. Lulu trying to get back to green. XRT still dragging. I'm glad I didn't jump in it there. Just looking at the bigger time frames and trying to catch the turn early, later than early. Early right now is going to cost me. I'm just trying to be patient here. You guys see me being patient, looking for the trade. The idea here is that we're seeing a little bit of a slowdown, and I'm thinking that we'll get a ramp up. The markets will close early today, right, guys? Yes, 1 p.m. Eastern. So what I'm looking for is a quick run towards the end of the day. We'll see if we get it. We've had that quick run out the gates. Now looking for some pullback to catch some of that run. At least was a good outlook today as we came in the market looking for a little bit of that bullish tune. All right, getting that attempted look on Etsy back to 55. So just calling out that one as one that I'm keeping an eye on. It's a Black Friday trade. It's something that I don't really like. It's not really necessarily is my biggest and most prized trade Etsy today, but the truth is the chart's there. So I'm keeping an eye on it. Wayfair is doing better though. That one's going for a 47 scalp look here. Look to see if it pushes higher, but man, Wayfair not looking too bad. Could go to like 48 today. It's a good Black Friday style trade. Could recover the 47.50s and get back there to 48 by the end of the day. We'll see what happens. $47 coming fast here. We'll see what happens there. Etsy's pulling back. Lulu could pull back a little bit there. A&F trying to make another low, so just be careful out there, guys. It's not just smooth sailing. On pullback. There's a lot of pullback right now. DEC pulled back. Let's see. Let's take a look at XLI also. It's right off the VWAP right now. So if you're looking for a play that's interesting, I think the industrial play is not a bad one to watch here. UPS is one name that it stands out to me. There's like kind of no reason for this to be up. So this is also a holiday trade. It has a tendency of getting a lift. Why? Because there's more shipping that happens in this time, and that could start to trade back to the upside. So this is a trade that I did not think about earlier today for the holiday trade. That is clearly a holiday trade. So if it can hold 135 today, it's looking good here. It's holding the 135 right now. Could make a move right back to the hourly high of 137.33. So I kind of like this look here. It could get 136 and go straight to 138. It's not a bad looking name. UPS. FedEx, you'd want to see it kind of do the similar move. Hold that 300, start to grind right back to the upside. XRT still coming down there and it's making a little bit of that pullback look. Best Buy, though, man, 90.59. Did not play this one, guys, and frustrated because this pulled back to the 89.40s. Really nice look to the 90.60 there. Almost a $1.10 run there. Could have made a nice $500 on Best Buy. Tesla now pulling back a little bit there, getting a little pullback in the Qs, but the Qs don't really, they don't come down. They're just shifting over. So that's what you can look for. It's just continuous rotation higher. Airbnb now down to 137. So that definitely took a hit there. Hilton doing a little bit better. Marriott doing pretty decent there. Let's take a look at the cruise lines. Carnival down. All right. Etsy still off of that 55. Now it's going for that undercut and rally. So it's going for like that shakeout, right? Shake out some of the bulls and then a rally. It's not a bad looking trade here off the 54.96. Would have to risk right off this low, which would be 54.84s. XRT still holding in on that downside action, but could reverse right back up here. Start making an approach to the upside. Etsy still looking good. Carvana holding the pullback there. Bath and Body Works holding the pullback. Sprouts Farms going a little bit higher. That looks good there if it takes 155. Lulu now getting into the green there. Lulu getting green there now towards 322.40. So a little frustrated on Lulu, but hey, it is what it is, right? Victoria's Secret holding in well there. Tesla pulled back a little bit there, just trying to hold around the 90 MA right now. Trying to see a little bit more wash on this XRT, and then it could start to come back. Q's pulling back a little bit there, guys. We might get a little bit of some pullback here now. I think you got to stay on the sideline a little bit. We'll see what happens, but we are getting a slowdown after the first action out of the gates, right? Looking at RCAT is a smaller name here, opportunity off the 11s. So we'll see if this can make the move, but this one always has a lot of following behind it. So we'll see what happens. There's the setup, undercut and rally setup there for the 11s. We'll look to see if it rallies here. Not a bad looking trade setup, right? So a nice little cut up through that. Let's see if it makes a little pullback here to the 1090s and then takes off, but could just pull off of this RCAT. UMAC, let's take a look at that one. UMAC is right at the 14 recovery. Could make a move to the upside, could fail here and then come back down to 13. So I kind of like that fail there and then back to 13 first, and then it can come to 14 first. So it doesn't look bad for a short here on UMAC, but just something different, of course. All right, we'll see what happens on that. What about BitDeer? BitDeer back at the 90 MA could go right back to 15, 16s. This looks actually pretty interesting here off the 14, guys. Of course, this would be kind of more of you're playing your Bitcoin rally. How are the Clean Spark names and Mara? Those are looking like they're propping here and could go right back up there. So BitDeer looking interesting here. It has pulled back a significant amount. Could catch some little bit of some pullback buy here. So looking at it off the 15-minute, it looks actually pretty interesting there on the 14. It did hit 1401 just a second ago. Now could push off of that. Looks interesting here for a recovery there on BitDeer. It'd be a nice little 1 minute move, but hey, it doesn't look too bad there. The 5-minute chart has them bottoming around the 14. Support is around 1377. So if there's one area where I think it could go to on the pullback, that's kind of your area, the 1380s. $15-minute chart still has maybe another pullback handle there, but we'll see if it can start to push off of this 14. On the 1 minute, the trade's there now. We'll see if it starts to push off this 1420s or maybe right below it. I'd like to see a fake washout here, catch some traders through the 14 and then back it. Lulu taking off, man. A little frustrated on that one, so definitely should have just bought the 320s there. Would be up about $300 on Lulu. XRT made it down there to the 83s, didn't break down there. Now it's starting to build on the 5-minute. Now it's starting to turn on the 5-minute. Still haven't seen that real kind of twist back, so I'm just waiting and trying to be patient. All right, guys, let's take a second here. I'm going to put up the charts here. I'm going to drink some coffee. I'm going to get ready to try to nail this closing of the stream here. A lot of times it's how it goes sometimes. So smash it up. Let's keep it going, guys. Let's go. All right, starting to see some names getting hot a little bit. That unusual Mac is definitely moving, so definitely keep your eyes on that. ARCAT holding around the 1110, still looking good there. AAOI, though, one of the hottest names right now. You are getting one more test down on that BTDR. I'll look to see if that starts to ramp right back up here off of that 14. Double touch, triple touch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Could get an undercut and rally here. Maybe a move to 1390s and then right back up. I don't mind it. If I play this, I'd play it with some smaller size and look to see if it really started to get moving. But I do like the Bitcoin trade today, and this is one that's giving me the pullback versus a lot of the other names that are giving me no pullback. So like Mara and names like that are not giving me much pullback, and they're holding on the move. So this is a trade here that I can make. I want to see a cut down here, a little bit of a red kind of 1 minute, make them wash it towards like the 1380s and then bring it back through 14. So the key here is not reacting early, it's reacting later. So I'm watching the move, waiting for this to turn on a 5-minute pattern back to green, right? So it was green, 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 green. We got about what? We did 8 bars green. Now we're what? We are 7 bars red. Let's see if we can finish this red, 8 bars red, and then go back to green, right? That's what I'm looking at. Etsy starting to turn around. That trade is still available to me, and it looks nice to come back to the 55. So you'd have to hold off this like kind of 88 level there for sure. And that's kind of the support right now. So watch out for little quick undercuts underneath that and then the rally. So I'm just watching it as a potential trade here for it to go back to 55. So you see that recovery off that 85. It washed out some of the traders at the 55. Now it's really recovering that and setting up. BitDeer did the same thing. It's up there now to 1418, now starting to get back there to 1420. So looks good there as it starts to push off of that. Of course, that's your Bitcoin type of trade. I'm going to take a starter here, very small starter, but I'm also trying to get Etsy. I'm trying to look at retail. I don't mind these trades there. I wouldn't mind to see Etsy come to the 54.85, and then I can risk underneath it to the next layer, which is the 74. All right there, bit deer. I'm just going to watch it and trade it here on the right-hand side, guys. So just keep your eyes on that Lulu new high there, watching that action there. I'm watching also the retail names to start bouncing there. I'm seeing ANF with a nice bounce and a nice push there. So ANF is going to be one of the ones that I'll go after here as we start to turn here. Got to risk off the 147 here, but going to hurry up, try to get in. All right, you got to be careful with the spread here, and that's the hardest thing is I'm trying to get closer to the 148, but this is the hardest thing about trading names in the retail space is that they got spreads that you got to be a little bit careful about. ANF looking interesting there. It's really starting to turn really quickly. The hourly support held there at the 147.13 area. So now it could start making its way back to 151. So that's about $3 higher. So that's just what I'm thinking about on the up end, where this can go. All right, BTDR, let's see where that's at. It's holding the 14 pullback right now. I'm looking to see if it can pull back to that one more time. 5 minutes could still go red. This opened at 402, went to 1422s really quickly. Now needs to kind of hold that 1402. And you could see a slight red candle there, and then you want to see it go right back to green. Let's see what happens there. ANF, don't want to miss that one. Just watching the action in between the spread, wanting to grab it, but look at Lulu now. Lulu got to 323, so that was a nice $300 there. XRT now starting to turn and starting to get hot there. So I'm looking at the XRT. I'm trying to grab it here with some bigger size. All right, now we're starting to get the move. I don't have the cash there to grab this with 1,000. That's the hard part. I need to grab it with some decent sizing to make the money, and I can't grab 1,000 shares there. So just watching XRT lift a little bit here, and that's a little annoying because I want to grab some of this trade. Etsy's probably the move there. The easiest one that's going to let me in here. Yeah, ANF is not letting me in. It just pushed to 148.72. I have to chase, and I hate chasing. Etsy looking good here to get the pop now back above the 55s. XRT, nice little pop there. BTDR, a little bit in the red here, but it's trying to hold that 14 like I talked about. All right, guys, if it cuts through the 1389s, I'll get out a bit deer and look to maybe get back in it once it starts to kind of crank up, right back up. Tesla still holding out that 340s. It's still doing pretty well on the day, though. Apple's still doing really well there. There's the cut down in bit deer. I had a feeling it was going to come after me, but the truth is there was no point in staying in it right there because it could cut down towards the 1360s here. Q's slowing down, now starting to turn around and starting to pull back a little bit there, guys. So just be careful with a quick move on the downside, and then we'll look to see if we get the ramp back up. XRT is starting to come back up there, but I'm also taking a look at the VIX there as the Q's start to come down a little bit to see if we get a little spike there. Man, that ANF is going to kill me that I can't get in it. It's just really hard to get in on the spread like that. You got to jump and risk $100, $200 really quickly. Etsy now towing for that 55 there. It still looks good there to break the 55 and go higher, but the market overall is starting to pull back. That's where it scares me, right? The market overall is starting to pull back there, yet we're still seeing the strength in the market in different names. So let's see what happens here. Q's pulling back fast there. See the Qs pulled back right there, the 508.70s. There's your VIX starting to prop a little bit. SPY also. All right, let's try a scalp here. Man, the retail names are starting to look a lot better, but I've missed some of these entries here on the pullbacks. Bunch of these names looking good. Just haven't been able to nail the trade today. That's how it goes sometimes. Can't be frustrated. Just got to keep trading, guys. Got to keep it going here, guys. All right, guys. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I can make some money. Great retest on Tesla. Yeah, it was. Etsy starting to recover that 50. I'm going to go for that Etsy trade, guys. I just keep missing some trades there, and I'm going to go for one here. Etsy long here, long, taking a shot here in Etsy. Q's moving down here. Now that's one thing I do see, but looking to see that the retail trade can hold on here. Back to 55 here on Etsy. Just trying to see this hold on here. All right, let's see if this can take 55, 56, and then start going to 55 20s. See if this can start to climb back here. All right, guys, we're getting a little bit of a visitor coming in for Black Friday, so I'm going to go on mute for a second, okay? I'll be back, guys, but stick around. Back long BTDR, guys. Back long BTDR. Etsy going in the green there for me now, 55.15s. Looking for this 14 pop here on BTDR. I'll add towards the 14.20s. Vara with the rip today, man. That should have been the play. I'm willing to step up on BTDR, though. It starts to come back here. Got to set the risk on the downside. All right, there's Etsy going deeper into the green now. All right, now just looking for the pop on BitDeer. So risk here, 45 bucks. Break even on Etsy. BitDeer, I'm about to go break even too. It starts to push above it. Canceling my ad there. Getting some test here on BitDeer. I'm gonna get cut out in that BitDeer. I just want to wait till it actually makes a big break above the 14, so I can make that cash. You see, BitDeer is trying to come back, but just can't do it just yet. Here comes the cues for an upside move, so I'm taking the cancel right now. Might do a move to 80s and then recover here. So that's the hard part. You have to risk it here or add here, and I'm just going to risk down to like 70 bucks, which is a normal trade for me. There's a nice recovery. Now I'm going to let go of that, so I make sure that I at least know where my risk is. So now I want to see this spike back through 14s. If it does spike back through 14s, I'm willing to add on it. All right, we'll see if we get the spike back through 14. A and F though, man. Wanted that bad boy. XRT could go down again and then come back up. I mean, it's just chomping right now. All right, there we go. Now we just got the ad on BitDeer. Now we got to go ahead and focus on BitDeer because we're starting to get bigger size on that one, and we don't want to get caught rinsing out, washing out on this thing. Now it needs to start to push back above the 14s. Go to the 1435s in a hurry. Still got a decent size now in this thing, and it could go back to 1550. So that's $1.50 up. So Like that rebound there. It looks good here. It starts to get to the 1403s. Could really start to jump there. Now we get to jump there. 415s really quickly here now. Looking for pullbacks just to add here now. So I can just put in orders to pull back and get filled here. So I'm going to go put 1405 to add a little bit more here. See if I get a fill on a pullback. Looking good here as we start to spike on this BTDR. Sorry about that. Break even on Etsy. You're looking for a small one that's starting to move. Zena is starting to move. Zena, Z-E-N-A. Here's that spike to 1425. So good spike on that. Now I can start to take a little bit more risk on this. So I'm actually pulling the limit down in a second here. I want to see it start to pull back, and I want to add into that pullback. But I put my limit down there towards 1385 here because I don't want to show my hand where I want to put the limit. But we'll see what happens. I'm just looking for a little bit of pullback after this rip. Now 1430s looking really good, up 130s. Now I needed to go ahead and focus for the pullback. Could get a pullback here, and then that's where I need to go ahead and size in to try to get the bigger move. There's Etsy out there, out on Etsy, just trying to work BitDeer now. Also got to take a look at the other crypto names, and that's going to give me a nice little sign. You can see how Mara's starting to pull back. That's not what I want to see, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. I want to see these start to just hold on there, not just break down fast, right? So CIFR, and then MSTR is a really good read on Bitcoin right now. And so you can see how that's pulling back to the VWAP here. Could go for some downside action, then recover later in the day. So you got to understand where your risk is right now. I think that that's the important thing. So for me, I'm in this BitDeer just based on the pattern. I like the way that the pattern's moving here. Now I just need to see if it can continue to run here. So it has pulled back a little bit here, but hasn't run. So what I'm looking for is a little bit more. Get closer to the VWAP, and then I can start to add and take bigger shots. All right, guys, this BitDeer will probably be the end of the day for me on the trading action. So I'm probably going to go ahead and wrap it up here. It's at 11 a.m. I got to go ahead and get out of here, guys. I'm going to go enjoy the day. And, of course, I hope that all of you guys had a great Thanksgiving. And don't forget about the competition. If you haven't signed up, I don't know what you're waiting for. Please sign up for the competition, guys. I don't want to see you guys mad because you guys did not get in on the competition and you waited until Monday to worry about getting in. So definitely, guys, before I get out of here, I'm going to give you guys the link one more time to get into the competition if you haven't done so already. So definitely get into the competition. What are you guys waiting for, guys? Definitely smash the like here. Let me see if I can shorten this URL here. There we go. That should shorten it enough, right? That should get you there. There you go. That's not a bad link there. I'll give you guys the link here, guys. Take a look. Make sure you're signed up for the competition, and make sure you use those Black Friday deals, guys. We'll see what happens in BitDeer. Not a bad battle today. A lot of the cryptos out the gates there. Qs were strong. Now the XRT pulling back, but the Qs are going right back up there. So I'm expecting some strength there in the XRT at some point. ANF doing really well now. Lulu doing really well now. So I'm going to be watching those names. I did lose on Airbnb earlier today, and now it's starting to recover off the 37s. So if the market can stay hot, this is all looking great here. Now we're getting a move on BitDeer, guys. I'm trying to add on BitDeer now. and take a bigger shot here. I just added there. Now I have 700 shares at 411. I'm going to take a big swing here. We'll see what happens in the names out there. And XRT is still something that I can take a bet on. I would like to see one more down action there, but it is starting to come back and show the strength. So I'd look at names there that are leading to see if they can stay hot there today. Urban, a nice name there. Bath and Body Works just pushed off the VWAP. Etsy just pushed off after it stopped me out. It could still go for another run. So I like the trade there on Etsy. We'll look to see if those get higher. Not a bad trade there on those names. Best Buy, really good trade there. Wayfair was a great trade today, guys. I didn't trade Wayfair, and that was a mistake on my part. Look at the move on Wayfair. Nice 3% move. We were talking about all these moves right here on Trade the Pool all week long. And guess what? We'll do the same next week as we get into the competition and take on more traders out there. We're taking on the Trader TV guys, right? They're going to be out there. Those traders will be joining us in the competition. So we over here got to get ready to make that cash. Competition accounts, of course, are all about, for me, building a cushion early on in the day so you can take bigger swings in the afternoon. We'll see you guys back right here on Trade the Pool. Wish you guys the best of weekends, guys. Thanksgiving, Black Friday. Really thankful to have you guys in every single day. All you guys that tune in to me and tune in to Trade the Pool. A real thanks, guys, from the bottom of my heart, because the truth is, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for you guys out there. So smash that like. We'll be back, of course, on Monday. Stay safe out there, traders. I know it gets a little bit crazy during the holidays, but we'll be back. And like always, battling right here on Trade the Pool. Get that deal, guys. Don't miss out on the 10%. I know I took that deal. I'm even thinking about buying on more accounts just because it's such a good deal. But I'll see you guys back here on Monday. Stay safe out there, traders. We'll see what BitDeer can return.